It is time for another story time. Yay, another book. Today we're going to be reading Slender Man the movie. Let's read. Alright. Chapter 1, The Find. Alright. Dylan went to Diego's house. He saw Carol there. He said to Carol, "Why are you here?" Carol, "Why are you here, Carol?" Carol replied, "What are you doing here?" He said, "To do a movie." Then Diego said, "Let's go in the bush." I said, "Are you sure?" Then we went in the bush and said, "Look at that." Diego said, a little misspelling. At that, Diego, "Look at that, Diego." Diego said, "What?" And Carla shows up. Yes, we're gonna have to fix that. Chapter 2, The Cops. We were walking to the liquor store. Then the cops showed up and they said, "What are you doing here, Dylan and Diego, you stealers?" Without exclamation marks, because of course. And that's in bold for some reason. Diego and me ran. We ran to the top of Sunnyside Elementary while Victor made a sacrifice. Carol wanted to stay there with Victor, but we said, "No, we got to go. We ought to go, okay?" Then the cops put Victor in the cop car. Victor said, "I'll be back." Then the other cops kept running, then suddenly escaped. What? Wait, no. I'll be back. Then the other cops drove him to jail for a day. Me, Carla, Carol, and Diego kept running, then suddenly escaped. Carol shouted. Suddenly there was Ron and Sierra. We shouted help while the cop tackled Diego. I went to help him, but I could not. Goodbye, Diego and Victor. We did not know then, but they were the lucky ones. Chapter 3, Slender Man. We kept walking. It was starting to get dark. Dylan was about to drop. Carla was sweating like a lot. Sierra was barely jogging. Carol was in tip-top shape. She did not even care she was sweating like everyone else, but she wasn't about to die like the rest of us. It was dark. We heard mountain lions. Everyone was scared, and yes, even I was scared. So Dylan finally said, "We got to camp." Carol shouted, "Where?" Carla said, "How about that tree house?" Everyone that was not Carla was surprised. We did not even notice a treehouse. Sierra said, "Look, there was a mountain lion up ahead." Dylan said, "Treehouse sold." Dylan, Carol, Sierra, and Carla were all sleeping, but Dylan woke up because he heard a strange noise. He went down the ladder, which was a bad idea. Carla shouted, "Dylan, I think it's the cops." She was close because it was wearing a black suit, but it wasn't the cops. Dylan looked in the bush and ran way faster than he runs the mile. Carol said it had no face, a black suit, and a red tie. Then Sierra woke up and said, Slender Man! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Chapter 4. Run. Carol said, what are you talking about? While Slender Man walked over to Sierra, Carol, and Carla, they ran away, which gave Dylan just enough time to come up with a plan. Dylan ran as fast as he could to Emiliano's house, which was down the mountain 2 miles away. When Dylan got there, he rang the doorbell about 50 times. Mill answered the door, Mill is Emiliano, rubbing his eyes. He said, Dylan? In surprise, Dylan said, let me in, quick, Mill. Said, let me in quick. Mill said, okay. And let him in. He said, hi, Mill. Dylan went to the basement with guns, knives, gunpowder, bombs, and other dangerous weapons. Mill shrugged and said, I'm going back to bed. While Dylan was up there, he made a bazooka. Don't ask me how, Dylan. Don't ask me how I made the bazooka. Dylan said bye. Mill and... Okay. Mill and... No, I think there's like a missing part. Because, look. Oh, no. I was totally missing it. Mill said okay. And said... I am missing the total. No, look. Mill. Look at this. Mill and jumped out the window. Okay. Which was a bad idea because he has glass in his legs. Meanwhile, Carla, Carol, and Sierra ran up the mountain all the way to the top. Carol... What? Wait. Carol got up there in 12 minutes, and the other girls got up there mountain slower, and Dylan was the slowest probably because he's slow and he has glass in his legs. Slender Man mind controlled the girls, and I found Logan nailed to a... Oh, we're just gonna have to find that on the next chapter, apparently. Come on, flip. On the tree, dead with his jaw missing, I found a note. See the E? I found a note that says, run, and a drawing of Sierra, Carla, and Carol nailed to a tree. So I had to get there fast. Dylan found the girls with one nail in their hand on the tree. The girls were crying, so he had to blow up Slender Man fast. It was almost sunrise. Chapter 5, the final battle. Okay. Dylan had to do something fast to kill Slender Man. He shot the gun and it blew up a tree, luckily not one where one of the girls were hanging. Then Slender Man grabbed the gun and put it into his non-existing face. Dylan was scared now. Then there it was, Victor and Diego. Diego was holding a book in Victor's face. Victor said a spell. Slender Man was disappearing. Then he stopped disappearing. Dylan grabbed the bazooka and blew Slender Man's head off. He was still alive. Then suddenly Slender Man threw nails at Diego. Diego was standing there with his eyes closed, ready to die. Then, ... nothing. Silence. Diego opened his eyes and he said, Victor? Victor said goodbye, homies, because that's what he always says. And then Victor fell with nails in his back, dead. Diego said one word from the book and Slender Man was gone, and it was morning. Was that it? Oh my god, we're done.